Hey friends, I want to tell you about a negotiation seminar that I am co-hosting in early mid-January. And the seminar it's 2 hours a day over 5 days, Monday through Friday, January 11th through the 15th, I believe. Double check the dates here. Yeah, 11th to 15th, and I am co-hosting it with my negotiation mentor, Ted Leonhardt. I'll post the details in the description of this video so you can see everything in print. The idea of the seminar is to cover negotiations specifically for creative people. So people who write, design, photograph, any kind of creative work for a living, because Ted and I have both found that people who work in creative industries struggle with negotiation in unique ways, and also creative people are not taught how to negotiate as much as people who are brought up in traditional business-oriented fields are. Also, the traditional school of negotiation, sort of the Harvard Business School of Negotiation, where it's a game and one person tries to beat out the other, really doesn't work as well for creative-minded people, because in that line of thinking, you're taught to remove your emotions from the negotiation, from the matter you're talking about, and really just removing your emotions is not a great place for creative people to be generally. And also, when you're talking about creative work, as a creative person, you probably have a lot of emotions invested in what you do. That's probably why you've put all this effort and passion into pursuing a career in writing, photography, illustration, design, videography. Is that even the right term for video work? You can tell it's not what I do. But right, most of us don't go into this because it's guaranteed money. We would have chosen software engineering. We would have chosen accounting if we wanted a career that had more definitive fiscal outcomes. So it's not great advice for creative people to say, just pull your emotions out. So Ted has found ways to teach negotiation that really help creatives use their emotions in the process. I learned how to negotiate as a creative through him, and it has been really successful for me. So we're offering this seminar as the two of us, him as somebody who's been doing negotiation for decades, me as someone who's a bit newer to it but is having success. So two ends of the career spectrum. Also perspective from a man and perspective from a woman, because it can be very different negotiating as a woman. Two white people, so we don't have perspectives from different race, but we would love if some people of color wanted to share their experience in negotiation as participants in the seminar. So we're hoping to really get feedback from people who participate, and people can share their stories and we can all learn from each other. Some of the topics that we want to cover are what it's like to negotiate as creatives, what it's like to negotiate as a man versus a woman, what is happening in the job market these days for creative people. Obviously, COVID is going to be a huge factor in all of these discussions because that's changed everything for everybody. We will talk about negotiating as a freelancer, also negotiating salary, and how much we talk about each of those will depend on who signs up for the seminar, how many freelancers versus salaried people are in the seminar. We want to talk about how you prepare for a negotiation. You want to do research. The better informed you are on what other people are making in your market with the same type of employers at the same level of experience, the more confident you're going to feel asking for the right amount of money, and the better you're going to feel defending your ask. So we want to talk about how you prepare, how much to prepare, where you look for that right information. And you need to know that, they're not asking for messaging or I'm speaking as a writer here, right? But when they hire me, they're not looking so much for messaging or a website or a brochure. I don't really write brochures very much, but taglines or email campaign. They're hiring me and the confidence in my ability and my services that I can offer them. And so when I negotiate, I need to keep that in mind. I'm not selling a website or the idea of the website. I'm selling myself, my abilities. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about how you can pitch yourself in a unique way that resonates so that you carve out a niche market for yourself that is marketable. Inbound marketing is really the first step of negotiation. The better positioned you are to appeal to the client before you even get on the phone or Zoom or in person with them, the better the negotiation is going to go. Both Ted and I are not fans of email negotiation. I've talked about that in some of my past videos, which you can find here on Zoom, and we will talk about why that is. And we'll talk about some of the psychological factors of negotiation, why we get so anxious, how you can reduce anxiety, and how you can tell when the other person's nervous. I have a PhD in communication, so I have some tips on little communication factors you can watch out for that'll tip you off on, oh, the other person might be just as nervous as I am, and I don't want to take advantage of it, but sometimes that can give you extra confidence if you know, okay, I'm not the only nervous person here in the room. We're both nervous. And I find that's often the case because most people don't feel real comfortable talking about money, right? You will run into some people who were taught how to negotiate in an MBA program, and it's a fun game for them, competing and striking out and figuring out who can get the better number. But most people are at least a little bit uncomfortable talking money, if not very uncomfortable. So certainly don't feel like you're alone if you're in the room in a money conversation and feeling awkward. I realize I'm transitioning into giving advice and not pitching my seminar, but also it does get easier over time. So we just want to help creatives, and we've put together this seminar. It's the first time we've done this together. We're hoping to do several of them. So if this one doesn't work for you, I imagine we'll be offering more in the future, but the fee is $200. We are offering a scholarship for someone in the college age bracket or a recent college graduate because I teach college. I know the job market has been brutal for people who are just getting out of college, and Ted and I would both love to help people in that area. So if you are a recent college graduate, somebody who's looking at graduating college this year, and you would like to do the seminar, but the money is prohibitive, please do reach out. If you have questions about what's going to be in the seminar, let us know. If you are participating and there's something that you would love for us to cover that I haven't explicitly mentioned, or you don't see in any of the promotional materials, let us know. If it's in our area of expertise, we would be happy to cover that. And even if it's not, we'd be happy to bring it up as a topic that we can all chat about and give our best guess at, as long as you are aware it's not part of our expertise. I think that's it. Yeah, just wanted to introduce the idea of it and let you know that's all that's coming up. I'm very excited about it and happy to answer any questions. Hope everyone is hanging in and doing their best to stay sane in this world. I know I'm not the best week for me, but I'm sticking in there. All right, guys, have a good week.